My name is CeCe Chin, and I'm the president and creative director of 8020 Footwear. 8020 started out as a much different collection than it is now. In the beginning, I was airbrushing patterns onto shoes that I found in Chinatown, and it was like something I was just really doing for fun. And I wore them, and I got immediate response from people. I mean, on the subway and so forth. I contacted someone at Daily Candy. The editor there responded, and she said, "Oh, this is great. Let's do a little piece on you." So she did that, and resulted in, a tremendous amount of response. People emailing me and people calling me and saying, "Oh, where can I buy these? And what can I do? And what am I going to do next? And when is my next collection coming out?" And I wasn't actually prepared for it. I was like, I don't know. But I think that to me was like a sign from the universe that I really could get a response from people for my creative work. When I first started, I had this kind of burning desire to realize something. 8020 has been this tremendous experience for me to do that. As a concept, what I think I feel most appealing about what I do is having a vision and living into it and fulfilling that vision. There is a book called The 8020 Principle, which I read a long time ago, which was more I was reading to consider, if I was going to do my business, and particularly like made me think, what is that 20% of your life that makes 80% of the difference in terms of your happiness or your possibilities for yourself. And I think then it kind of led into this like footwear concept where I was like, well, I only really wear these shoes, and what would I really want to wear like all the time just to basically facilitate my own life. I did work in retail, as a teenager, and I worked at Urban Outfitters, and I was like, these things are cool, and like, how does it, what's the beginning point to it arriving at the store and us, selling it to people? And I think I was interested in that whole path. And then I moved to New York City, and I wanted to work in fashion in some way, and it wasn't very clear at that time. And as I assisted some designers and I just kind of got my feet wet, I felt like I wanted to have my own product. I do feel like that I had a childhood ongoing project. I would do what I called wardrobe therapy, and I would basically kind of rifle through my own closet and also through my mother's closet and my sister's closet, because I have 3 other sisters, and come up with outfits. And this is something I just did basically on my own, but I really got a sense of creative, or a sense of kind of momentum from doing that, and I think that's what led me to want to pursue a career in fashion. One of the biggest fears is whether or not it can really work, whether or not it's just a couple ideas that are you're gonna pursue, but then you're gonna run into brick walls, or you're not gonna have money. And I think what happened to me is the fear of not making it happen was stronger than anything else, than the fear of not making other things happen. And I feel you almost have that, to have that basic, like, fundamental unstoppable quality, because it's very difficult to make a lot of things happen. The best thing is to realize that you're disappointed that the results of whatever you're doing didn't really happen. And then I think the next thing is to figure out, well, what steps could I take, and how could I change my way of thinking, or how could I change my pursuit so that it does happen. And I think it really requires you to kind of step back from your emotions and say, like, what is the practical result? If you have a vision of what you want to do, then essentially to kind of even put like a structure around it, like, within 5 years I want to build a business that has a significant domestic distribution, international distribution. And I think it's more important to say those things tangibly than to say, like, I want to be famous, or I want to be rich. So I think if you would define things as like, I want to accomplish this in this time, you can work towards that, and you can say, okay, yes, it's done, and then recreate your next goal. It is challenging sometimes. I mean, it is, certain projects really need 100% commitment, and things can fall to the wayside, but think it's important to remember that your friends and your family and those things are what make up the fiber of your being. And if you don't give those, attention, I mean, you run the risk of like alienating yourself and just being so one-track that it's not as fun as when you have the support of your family and your friends. You really have to identify with this passion like on a really core level, because there's going to be a lot of challenges, and it will really force you to say like, do I really want this? And then kind of identify with those challenges and say, yes, I do, and I'm gonna face this no matter what. Like, if there's an explosion, in your office and it burns down, let's just say, that's the worst case scenario. Like, are you willing to pick up the pieces again? Do I really want this? And if you do, that's what's going to set you aside.